I suppose you want me in here. Hi. How's it going, everybody? I was just live on IG. Uh, I like to touch base there. I've been so. Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? So, as you can see, I'm kind of beachy, kind of doing the beachy thing these days. What's happening? Get all excited when I start to go live and I start to connect and reconnect with people. So if you go to my IG, if you go to my Instagram, you can see some of the behind the scenes. I did some of the behind the scenes things there. I showed everybody because I don't have the tech yet to be able to do dual cameras to show you the bookshelf full of cards over there. So really interesting these days. Let me do what I usually do, which is to say, hi, how are you? Tell you a little bit about who I am. And some of how I do that is by putting up a banner. Let's find a really good banner. Oh, yeah. Should we do that? Because that's all true. It's just some of the banners, which is just the scroll at the bottom, say different things. Oh, maybe I should do the one that talks about star seeds and multidimensional souls. Anyway, it's all about embodiment these days, regardless of whatever else is going on. So I'm just going to start shuffling this deck already. Decks I use as adjunct. I think they are so fun. I don't lean on them as a crutch. I just play with them a little bit more, um, a little bit more just as a play. And when I do a full-on card reading, if you want a full-on card reading, if you go to my website, you have to book the session that says deep. You want a deep. It's the most basic of all the sessions I offer. And if you stay alert and you've been watching me live, then you know. Hi, replay watchers, by the way. Hi, crickets. Then you know that everything that I'm offering these days, I'm really feeling the discs heavily. They keep popping up, and I just pulled another one out. That everything that is available on that website. This does not include the pre-recorded whatever's for sale on Podia, Lovevolvenergy Podia. It does include any one-on-one via Zoom session that we might do. I wonder why we all stopped using Skype. Remember Skype? So I just want to shout out to everybody. I want to shout out to Intuitive Lifestyles Consulting. Hi, ladies. Hi, everybody. Haven't seen or heard of you guys in quite a while. I'm already doing the thing. So I am primarily an energy intuitive, multidimensional energy intuitive meditation teacher and somatics practitioner, which includes breath work. I got to write all that down. Maybe I'll re-listen for myself because that encapsulates almost all the things that come under Love Evolve Energy. You can come to me for meditation retreats. Meditation is what I offer as an adjunct support system for somebody's spiritual practice, particularly if they're working within the woo. I call them light workers, not the best term ever, because not all light workers are aware that they are. And if they are aware, then they may not like that word. And it's just loosely, if it interests you, it means someone who's interested in some of the mysticism. I should maybe retitle those Meditation for Mystics. Oh, I'm full of just ideas today. And I kind of know why. And hopefully I'll remember to tell you about that in just a minute. So that's essentially who I am. Every Friday, in the AM, if you're in the United States or Canada or South America or Alaska or Bermuda. If you're across the pond in one direction or the other, it's going to be in the wee hours of the morning if you're going towards Hong Kong via California, or it's going to be late afternoon if you're across the pond the other way in Europe and Africa, etc., India. Many, many hours that direction. Anyway, I'm just locating you in space. How do you like space? We switch it up. Sometimes we'll even do shamanic ecstatic dance. I do that every other week in the Light Shine Lab, by the by. But I'm here every Friday morning, and we're doing either divination sessions, like you can see on the little frame there. We're either doing divination sessions or energy work. When we do energy work, it's both things happen at once, really. It's just a way to mix it up and have me focus a little bit differently. If I'm focused on divination, I will use cards, I'll use charms, other energy work may come through. There may be mediumship, which is also a form of energy work and messaging that comes through. And it just is a different mindset. If I'm going into energy work, it always starts with some kind of meditative, and I have you sink in meditative awareness. And then I start with an energy scan, energy reading for anybody who requests. And then if you give me permission, I can go in and do some energy work with you. It's usually pretty hands-on, and there'll be some requests that you do something or other with your energy. Did somebody need Page of Swords and Chariot? Wow. Those are some powerful ones. Anyway, so that's all I have for you right now. Let me check out the feed and see what's going on. Last week, I don't know, we had 15, 20 people hanging out. Is that what it was? Let's see who's here. And P.S. I may not be able to see, because I'm on a third-party platform. I may not be able to see. I'm leaving it up to you, Spirit, to bring through what I can see in the feed. So who do I see? Arpita? Girl, how's it going, lady? It's been a while. How are you? What's going on? What's going on? It's just you and me right now. That has not always been the case, has it? Or occasionally it has. I think often people are a little bit, hi, Peter, more interested in the energy work, because, that tends to be what I do and how I see everybody. Sheila Piercy, hey, lady. So for replay watchers and those that are new to me, whether you're watching in time space right now, or if you're watching on a replay years in the future, may not even be on, we may not even have this platform anymore years in the future. Is that prophetic? I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, guys, I've got a lot of fans and cooling systems here because moving into a hot one. It's going to be a hot one today. So who I see in the feed right now are also intuitive mavericks here, you guys. These women who are showing up that I can see so far. I've only got my my Facebook is active. I do not see anything from the tube that is you. That can be a little bit slower on the uptake. Sort of in between platforms too. I need to make some decisions about that. And I know it's hard, like just to hang out for a whole hour, just to see or to get somebody's vibe. So let's see what's going on here. Like I said before, I pulled the Chariot and Page of Swords. Holy guacamole chips. So let's talk about that. Chariot is, even though I do love the luminous Luminous Void Tarot deck, I'm not as familiar with this woman's interpretations. And when I read specifically from a deck, I really like to lean on what that interpretation is, because I'm with it for a reason. And if you follow me and you've been looking on my different feeds, you know that they've been advertising. And so I did a little solid for them, and I put up one of their links saying that I would be using that deck. And indeed I am. And I've started to pull out a couple of cards over here. So when you meet with me for one of my sessions, and like I said, it's all pay as you wish, pay as you can right now until further notice. That's my act of generosity for everybody. For Lovevolvenergy. If you're wanting divination, which can involve trinkets, cards, drawings, and messages, mediumship, it can involve all kinds of communication. What you would do if you want a full-on reading, which would be maybe a dozen, maybe 3 dozen cards, all in their own puzzle shape, coming together to create a complete, more complete picture. I mean, how complete can we really be in any given moment? And thus is the rub with divination readings. Know what I'm saying? So that's what you would pick, a deep session, if you want a whole bunch of cards, 1 to 3 dozen cards, and we just discuss whatever specific issues you want to move through. What the cards do, it really involves a sort of artistry of interpretation, along with the other intuitive things, and it's very much listening. So I move into more of an clairaudience mode, quite honestly. When I'm doing energy work, it's much more clairvoyant, I would say, because there's a little bit more, I would just say a different kind of engagement for me, which is maybe my forte, although my delight is really in noodling around with divination. I just think it's so much fun. So as we move into these readings, so if you do want a reading, know that whoever shows up, this is particularly for you replay watchers, and is chosen, whoever shows up and is chosen for reading, the messages will come through via cards and what the cards are pointing at, and perhaps some other mediumship or speaking to your multidimensional soul or guides, whatever needs to come through. If the reading hasn't been specifically for you, but you hear what these messages are and you begin to light up, then it's meant for you. It's meant for you. There's something for you to gain and glean from that. So there's that. Let me have a little sippy sip. If you do want a reading, throw down a bunch of emojis down there. You can be specific or general. You can be specific in terms of what emojis you put. I think that's fun. I don't care. Oh my God, that jumped out. 10 of Swords. Ow. But it did come up reversed. Backstabber. Sometimes the 10 of Swords bouncing out the backstabbers. Okay. And then from that, you move on to sort of a powerful, happy-go-lucky Fool card. Backstabber. An enlightened version of 10 of Swords, and what I'll do for that. Have you ever seen the yogis, the Eastern yogis who lay on a bed of nails as a way to activate the nervous system so that you transcend the body? Really what that is activating is the endocrine system, or all the chemicals that are talking to the nervous system. So you get a rush of endorphins and probably some kind of oxy there. Oh yeah, Sheila, you want some love energy, all right? But I do want to see last gasp of fear indicating transformation is near, which may be indicative of, if you look at the card this way, see all the swords and the woman? Uh, it's like all over. Like, not only is it in every major and minor chakra, just about, um, it's it's also through her legs and her grounding. That kind of transformation is near. The transcendence is near. The decision has been made. A death and birth cycle and a last gasp. Transcending, but not in the sense of avoidance. They're gorgeous cards. Can you see how it's gold on the front? It's very artist rendition watercolor, very moving from right brain watercolor, and has this rainbow delight, fantastical, but also this depth. They're very deep. There's this depth to them, this moving through force. High Priestess, 6 of discs, all the discs, 6 and 9. That also talks about messages. Let's look at the discs here. Success and gain through an evolved step-by-step manner. 9 of discs is a treasure chest, gain on all levels of abundance. So we're talking so much about methodical actions leading to abundance and to the High Priestess. This High Priestess is intense. Let me just show you how she shows up for us. Right? She's here and she's not here. She's here and she's not here. Intuition, self-trust, intuition, and independence is the theme here, right? She's here and she's not here. So we've got this rite of passage kind of feeling happening. That's going to bring a lot of luck and abundance. All right, Sheila, I'm going to get a little more specific for you here. I'm seeing some Hierophant energy for you. The Hierophant just, and it's feeling kind of thick and sticky at the same time. So we look at tradition, and some of the stickiness behind it. It also, Hierophant also creates structure, but there's something about the Hierophant in this deck that looks super magical to me. Like, look at the wands, right? There's the peace sign, there's that magic star wand, and you even put a star in there in the emojis. Learning, teaching, cultural institutions, that tends to be what it means. But look at all that. Isn't that gorgeous? And there's also, are you thinking about more training? Because we also have the 8 of Cups, which can sometimes be making a decision, a kind of just being emotionally drained and exhausted, this kind of exhaustion. So we've got some exhaustion and some education and some deep traditional learning. What else is happening here? What's going on, Sheila? And then we've got a fire card. We've got our visionary with the 9 of Wands. So what this particular deck says about that is strength of vision, communication, and creativity and personal power. I'm feeling like I need a few more cards for you here, Sheila. And I'm wondering if this is just setting up where you are, and the answer, the question is moving from here. So you're functioning within a structure that's draining you, and you're beginning to blossom into, if I just had to go with this is the setting, Sheila, blossoming into your personal visionary and your independence and strength within that structure. Okay. I'm going to pull, do you have a question around that? What's the question here? Yeah, I saw you going live. Saw you. Oops. I think it might have been live on your own page. And so I'm getting this other card, Knight of Swords. It is absolutely adorable. It has this neophyte kind of energy around it, like a letter, a mental message, an aggressive person coming or going in your life. So they kind of interpret this as more aggression than I would interpret it as. So this is turning into something a little bit bigger here, Sheila. So it's some kind of, you're either like intuitively, empathically getting this like hit through your mental body, or an actual letter or some kind of communication that like is like, ugh. And I don't know if that's in work. That's what the cards are telling me here. There's also this feeling of path work that I'm getting for you. I don't know if it means the path work, but the upshot is this Queen of Wands, which is this mastery of this maverick fire energy. Full embodiment of creativity, spirituality, and focus on divine feminine. So that's what I'm getting, Sheila. I don't know if you're at the point of making the big shift from whatever, because that structure that you're in, it doesn't feel particularly confining. It just feels draining, is what the cards are telling me. And there's this way of behaving there that like there's something that you're getting from that is like, yeah, and it just feels like it leads to this kind of like heavy wet. If you move into the cups energy, some of that energy can be just like the wet emotions of tears, drain, depression, but there's something about this Wands energy that's coming up really strongly for you. I'm going to do one more. And I don't see... Oh, are you? I don't know, who are you tight with behind the scenes in the lab? Because I'm kind of feeling if it's not there, I'm kind of feeling like there's another position for you that's opening up in some kind of spiritual community that I'm not getting any like specifically discs energy for you, but I am within that getting another King of Swords. Swords is all this mental energy here. Wit, insight. I just feel like something's coming towards you that I don't know if there's a paid position for you being an admin or administrator, and something something like the light shine, something like that. So I don't know who you're tight with there. If you want to ask them, if somebody needs a PA, personal assistant, if somebody needs something else there, the energy is not like hurry up and get a new position. It's just put your raft in the flowing river and just keep flowing down the river. So the force of the energy that's already happening, just float the force because you're already being guided or moved towards it. So the advice card I have for you is Temperance, which can kind of be a Libra card and a balance card. Synergy, patience, integration. And I want to show you this card here. It's so funny because it shows a kind of path with all this support here. So there's angelic support above you, which I think is aspect of self, and the dual nature of you. So your inner divine masculine and your inner divine feminine. I really feel that you're moving into this more powerful position, which needs to be integrated within you. It's in the process of being integrated within you, moving in that direction. So that's the action. Get on your raft, flow down the river as you do, practicing this integration of the masculine and feminine within you. All things welcome. There's that, just be patient with it. Trust the flow. So hard to do. Our identity, our small self wants to be an agent of action and have some agency and take action and to do something. Be patient. Keep it. Overall, I would say all the cards point at a very quiet, patient, personal empowerment that has some real depth and dynamism to it. So that would be your general takeaway from the cards here, Sheila. This depth and dynamism of personal empowerment. Depth, dynamism, personal empowerment. Depth and dynamism, personal empowerment. And that is the backbone of this shift that you're going through. You're saying about training for something else at this current place. Patience. not a bad thing, but uh, the expansion can happen there, and then that'll be cooked, that'll be done. You can take that cake out of the oven and eat it and then move on to the next thing. So there is this for the rest of the year. Moving into next spring is what it looks like. There's like everybody gets reborn, and I'm not sure what your month of birth is. I'm feeling like you have other things, but if we look at March and April, that's kind of, I mean, just astrologically, I may be cheating a bit because I know that's when there's a bigger shift for everybody. It seems particularly true. If you can just hold on, Sheila, be patient and keep trusting and continuing with that depth and dynamism of your person. All right, can you hear me? Am I still here? I think you can. Let me know. That's what I have for you, Sheila. I hope that's helpful. That's sort of the general. I think you think it's just work. Um, all the cards point at it's about a lot more than just your work life. I mean, your spiritual life is very much integrated or becoming more and more integrated. Ah, you're welcome. All right, cool. I'm glad I'm back. So that's what I have for you, Mademoiselle Piercy. Big change, big joy, big change, big joy. Yeah, these cards are totally cool. I got these cards right before the pandemic really hit. Can I tell you? Right before the shit hit the fan and my life completely changed. When I bought these cards, I knew my life to be one thing. Within, I would say, 6 weeks after this purchase, my life as I knew it changed completely. And another like 6 weeks to 2 months after that changed completely again. Like in some ways it happened so fast for me, but I can see hindsight that it happened as slowly as it possibly could. Because the changes were seismic. They were huge. And I am not the same person I was when these cards were purchased. I am not that person. I am not that person. I am maybe in some ways so much more that person. Everything I thought to be true. At that time, that was truth. The truth is very different now. Although I can feel a resonance with who I was at that time, as if that truth is still alive for who she was in some ways. Our past lives happen within this life. It's within the same body. You live many lives. And I can look back at that life stream, and she was a happy girl. Very excited, happy girl. And, experienced, had no idea, knew something was coming, but had no idea that it was going to rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby, rock the boat. Tip the boat over, and then some. All right, so unless something else arises, I think, speaking of jumping ship, I think Arpita bailed on us, but that's okay. So I may end there. We'll see what else. I've been moving through. I don't know if anybody knows who Paul Selig is. He works as a channel and works with a collective he simply calls the guides. And so he, on occasion, does retreats. And so he had a retreat that just started last night. So I'm doing his retreat. And there's a lot of attunements. And it's amazing. So moving through that. I have another sort of side hustle as a baker. So I just started that, and yet a third side hustle, which is not a third side hustle because it's also energy work. It's not sugar and corruption like the other one is. Can I just call that company? It's called Sugar Cell right now, but I want to call it Sugar and Corruption. That's so cynical. Anyway, that's my side hustle. So I have just some decisions to make about that. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Yeah. I'm. What am I gonna do? I'm. Doing the ecstatic dance, and I just actually this week just did an advanced training, and I hang out with the people who trained me. They used to be based in Bali, and it's the Wakamaya School of Sacred Fun. I love them. I just adore them, and now they're in I think they're in San Diego, someplace on the West Coast anyway. They just had a baby, and they're doing a lot of ecstatic dance trainings and things like that. So that's what's up for that. All right. So I'm going to do just maybe one general for whoever might come through here. Forever who might need this. A card for someone who might need. We've got more wands. Some 10 of wands. And the Justice card. Maybe that's for both of us, Sheila. I don't know. Though there's less hubris in the 10 of wands, and there's more sort of path seeking again. Self-aggression, restraint, and the sense of being weighed down. But we're still moving forward, but we're taking it with us. And justice. Justice is not always my favorite court card. I don't know. It tends to be a little heavy. How do they interpret it here? Balance, realignment, simplicity, and clarity. So this is just getting your shit together and getting rid of what you don't need. And finding some clarity. I love it. And quit beating up. Quit beating up on yourself, everybody, me included. All right. Done deal. I'm going to end it there, I think. And I'm just going to have it be a quickie. Cool but quick. See how it goes. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me. There's a small chance I'm just going to see how I feel. See how I feel with stuff. And, it's the age-old decision. Barb! Hey, lady! How you doing, Barb? Barb, can I introduce you? Let me know if I can tell everybody who you are. And Barb, if you have a website, please post it in the feed right here. Barb, although I had done a lot of shamanic stuff before, when I met Barb while I was in Colorado, she trained me to do my own journey work. She's a shaman. I'm just going to tell everybody, Barb, she's a shaman. Great. So clean it up, lady. I'm about to end here, unless you want another card. I'm seeing new inspiration coming from you. Okay, there she is. There's her link, everybody. If you want to check out Barb, she does a lot of teaching. She does a lot of shamanic journey work, all kinds of stuff. And she was really we used to do shamanic journey work at the awesome space I was in Colorado. And I was, going to be her assistant. And then, the shit hit the fan, quite literally. And the entire world shifted. And I ended up someplace else. Happy-go-lucky card for you, Barb. Happy-go-lucky. All right. I'm going to bail here. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, hanging out with me today, and doing the thing. I will be here next Friday. I'm here every Friday. Seems like I only got my Facebook people. I don't know if the feed is working real well on the tube that is you. I'll find out about that. And then we'll move on to next. All right, you guys, so much love to you. I have a super busy day for me here, but let me just do one more thing. I'll tell you what's coming up for me. Most of my retreats for the year are over. Most of my energy work for my meditation for mystics is over. Big hugs for you too, Barb. Miss you so much. So what I'm doing instead is everything that's on my website, and you can see all my links up in the information box. It's either above or below, depending if you're on the book that is face or the tube that is you. Or Intuitive Lifestyle Consulting. Just go directly. If you're seeing me through Intuitive Lifestyle Consulting TV, then just go to my YouTube or my Facebook, or you know what? Just go to my website, lovevolvenergy.com. It's up. The links are above. My Everlink has all the links I'm on, except for my SoundCloud link. What do you know? Which is all my ecstatic DJ stuff. Anyway, if you go to my website, you will see that all of my offerings, everything that you could purchase from me, including the big ticket, heavy, let's work together for a month stuff, it's all pay what you want, pay what you wish. You have to trade something. You got to trade. In fact, I'm doing work with somebody and she's sending me a painting. I'm so pumped. So she's an artist. That's what she has an abundance of. That's what I will accept from her. Anyway, so book a sesh and pay what you want. Sheila, send me a whole bunch of muffins or cookies. And the recipe that goes with them. And yeah, so book a session and pay what you want. Do whatever you want. Go check out all my offerings there. They're all energy work based because that is my forte. And that can look a lot of different ways. All the info is there. And you can find out all about it. But you get my feed, you get my vibe. You know what I'm about. You know the kind of things I do. You can just feel, or if you just want to spend an hour with me. Here's the thing. When you book a session, we meet on Zoom only. I don't do in person anymore. It's just on Zoom. We're still doing that until further notice. You can pay whatever you want. You know, the links when you register for the session, the links are there if you want to do PayPal or Venmo or buy me a coffee or something like that. But if you don't, that's cool too. Just tell me what you want. Tell me what you want to give me, what you have an abundance of, what you want to trade. And chances are good I'm game. Chances are good I will totally do that. Yes, I'm so excited for what that is. And shit. Why was I saying that? I don't remember. Anyway, so those are my offerings. That's what I do. Come hang out. Oh, that's what I was going to say. We will always meet on Zoom. It won't be in person. And it's as long as it takes. Typically, I won't go longer than 2 hours, but you know, that's why I call the sessions deep, deeper, and deepest. Map making and soul evolution. Those are the two different, like, full-on things that we can do over weeks and weeks, and we work more personally, more frequently. but I don't know how long it's going to take for a message to come through. I can't tell you book an hour session, because if you book a deep, we're only going deep. If you book a deeper, we're going to go deeper. Sometimes that means time longer, sometimes not. If you do the deepest, we will typically, just as a ballpark, we're going to do 2 sessions. Just as a ballpark, 1 check-in and 1 full on, and a bunch of stuff in between. But like each session, I don't know how long that's going to be. Your guides decide. Your team decides. What actually emerges decides. You know, it is what it is. All right. That's what I offer. If you want some company while you go through a big experience, little guidance, a little company, book a 3-week session with me. If you want just help and a hand holding while you learn the lay of your land, before you climb that mountain, you just want to gather some tools and just what's what, then book a full-on month with me and we'll figure stuff out. Those are my fortes. All right, you guys. I'll see you next week. Catch on the flip. And next Friday, that's the big one that everybody comes to. We're going to be doing full-on energy work. All right. So much love to you guys. Ew. Where's my banner for thank you very much? Thank you very much. There we go. Thanks, guys. So that's what we're going to do. And next week's a double duty again. I'll be in the morning here doing energy work. And then in the afternoon, in the evening, well, East Coast time, it's evening. We're going to be doing some ecstatic dance. All right. So I'll catch on the flip. All right. Come hang out. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.